Strat-O-Matic Excel Carryover League. Brought to you by the Shrimp Troller. 1972 to 1975.
Game 40, Padres at Cardinals.
Welcome back, baseball fans, to another opening day of the 1972-75 Carryover League. We got a series today between the San Diego Padres and St. Louis Cardinals. The Cardinals just missed the playoffs a year ago by a game. Probably the 7th best team in the National League. Cardinals finished 3rd in the West. And both teams had some interesting drafts, particularly the Cardinals. Let's start with them, I guess. They had a Lou Brock's 118 stolen base card. They would improve Ted Simmons to his 332 card. Al Hrabowski's in his best year now. Bob Forsch is brought on for the team. And so they think that they can go back and compete for a wild card again in that very tough National League North. Now, the Padres, we know they start adding talent in 73, 4, and 5. Mostly guys like Winfield, Grubb, and so forth. Takes a while. The good news is their biggest moves were improving Randy Jones and adding Brent Strom. Two of the toughest left-handers in the National League are going to be the top 2 spots of this rotation. So pretty much the Padres are going to live and die with how good Randy Jones and Brent Strom do this year. They're either going to be in last place or they're going to be at 500 and fighting for a wild card spot, depending on how great those dudes pitch. Winfield is on the roster now, waiting his time. Matter of fact, Johnny Grubb got here before Winfield did, and they had to send Ollie Brown away. So we're in Busch Memorial Stadium in St. Louis, game number 40. Padres at Cardinals, best of 5 series. Let's get started. Leading off for the Padres is Johnny Grubb. 44 off of Bob Gibson. Homer 1-5. It is gone. What a rude way to greet Bob Gibson. We'll do you the pitchers at the end of the inning here. Solo shot for Johnny Grubb. Dave Roberts 1-8 grounds are short. LaRon Lee, 48, second X. Your second baseman is Mike Tyson. He's a 3. He's 37. And he gives up a single. Nate Colbert, 1-5. Let's take a look at the Nate Colbert card. Already in the first inning, 38 homers and 72. This is one of them. With a 250 average, Nate Colbert, one of the early stars of the Padre organization pre-Winfield. And Randy Jones, that's a 2-run blast. And it's 3-0. Before the St. Louis fans could even settle into their seats here. New catcher Adrian Garrett, 2 sevens, a single. Jim Fregosi, brought in as a free agent, plays short with Enzo Hernandez. 2-9 is a 6-4-3 double play. 3-0. Now we'll give you the pitchers, as I forgot to do that. The Padres do send Randy Jones out there, a starter 8, 20-game winner in 75 with a 2.24 ERA in 285 innings. He will battle with Bob Gibson, his last very good card of 72, a 19-game winner with a 2.46 ERA in 276 innings. Bob Gibson, no slouch here in the early 70s. 73, 74, and 75 aren't so much, but he can still bring it. Got knocked around in the first, though. And the Cardinals are at the plate. And here is, leading off for them, Lou Brock. 5'10 catcher's X. This is Garrett's a 4-12. Makes the play. Joe Torre, 2 sevens, a base hit. Reggie Smith, 1-8 is a K. And with 2 outs, Bill Sadakis, 1-7 is a K. Top of 2, it's Vic Harris playing second today. Grounds a second. Ken McMullen, 2-8 is a base hit. Batting ninth, Dave Winfield. Hard to believe, but he's going to bat ninth in his major league debut here. 3-6 is a strikeout. That's not a bad way to start facing a Hall of Famer, Bob Gibson. Johnny Grubb, 3-6 is a walk. 2 on for Dave Roberts. 4-4 off Gibson is homer 1 of 3, fly ball the rest, and it is a fly ball for the fortunate Gibson. Bottom of 2, it's Ted Simmons. 67 pops the second. Jim Hart, 211, rolls the second. And Mike Tyson, 66, lines a short. We go to the third. It's LaRon Lee. 3-6, fly ball to right. Nate Colbert back for another home run swing, and he gets it, folks. 1-6. You saw the card. It's Nate Colbert's MVP season of 2024. Underway here with 2 homers and 3 RBIs and a 5,000 slugging percentage or whatever it would be. Adrian Garrett. No, what is it? 8,000? Yeah. Adrian Garrett, 46. Single 1 of 16. That's a base hit. Jim Fregosi, 38. That's a single. Bob Gibson getting knocked around St. Louis here. And what is a very good card for him. Ominous start to the end of his career, you would think. Vic Harris, 69. Sky's the center. And Ken McMullen, 6'11", second X. 3E27 second makes the play. Well, the Cardinals are going to have to be tested. They need to win this series, do the Cardinals. Their schedules only get a lot tougher when they have to play the Pirates and the Reds and the Cubs. So they have to take on these Padres and somehow come back and win the series here. Don Buford, 310 base hit. We like to say the Padres are often playing with house money, as they're never, ever predicted to win the National League West, just to kind of make it entertaining. And they're kind of a loose bunch, I guess. John Kennedy, 66, lines a short. Back up top to Lou Brock, 56 is a K. Joe Torre, 39, grounds to third. Top of the fourth, it's Winfield, 56, another strikeout off Gibson. They'll figure it out, folks, sooner or later. John Grubb, 45, triple 1 of 5, base hit. Dave Roberts, 1-2. This is ground ball third B plus. The plus means you're holding Grubb, and you are, so that's a single for the DH. So you got runners on the corners here with 1 out. They're going to bring it up, already down 4, for LaRon Lee, 56, a sac fly to right field. Perfect. And Nate Colbert, looking for number 3. Oh, he hit the column. Wrong roll, though. And that's a line out. 1 column for the 3rd straight time. But unfortunately, that's not another homer. But it's 5-zip. Reggie Smith, 53, rolls to first. Bill Sadakis, 410, center X. Grubb out in center, 2E5. That's why he got here sooner than Winfield. Probably a little bit older as well. And he makes the catch. Better defense, younger. Of course, Winfield would turn out to be the best defensive outfielder a little bit later. Ted Simmons, 48, second X. Harris at second is a 3E22. And he kicks that ball, though. Jim Hart, 48, second X again. And this time, Vic Harris makes a decent play on the ball. We go to the 5th. Adrian Garrett, 37 is a K. Jim Fregosi, 55, short X. Shortstop today, John Kennedy, 336. Makes the play. Vic Harris, 64. Short X again, and he makes the play. So Gibson settles down, finally, with a 3 up and 3 down inning, but it's already 5-zip. Bottom of the 5th. Let's pause a moment for station identification.
This is the Shrimp Trawler video channel.
Este es el canal de videos de camaroneros.
All right, bottom of the fifth. Cardinals need to get something going here against the very difficult Randy Jones. It'll be Mike Tyson leading off. 65 flies to center. Don Buford, let go by Baltimore in the offseason and brought into St. Louis mostly to play defense behind Brock and get some at-bats against left-handed pitching. 1-4 flies to left, and with 2 outs, it's John Kennedy. 1-8, single 1-3, and he cannot get it. Randy Jones, like we said, the fate of the Padres is on his shoulders, and Brent and his number 2 guy, Batman and Robin. Ken McMullen, Cardinals had not displayed a knack for hitting left-handed pitching very well. Ken McMullen, 5-12, flies to right X. Out there is Buford, 3-3, makes the grab. Dave Winfield, and can he make contact? He gets a single 1-2, line out. Well, he doesn't swing through that one. Johnny Grubb, 2-9, rolls a second. Bottom of the sixth, it's Lou Brock. 1-4 flies to right. And with a Joe Torre, 1-8 is a ground ball to short. Reggie Smith, 48, second X. Your second baseman is Vic Harris. He's a 3, E22. An error. Second one of the day. And you can see, the Padres just don't have much prosperity. They can somehow kick a game around. 2 errors and 3 innings by the second baseman in this case. Setting up Bill Sadakis, 3-10, but he skies the center field. Randy Jones with a nifty 2-hitter as we go to the 7th. Gibson's a starter 9, but giving up 5 runs, he probably won't finish this thing. Dave Roberts, 6-11, second X. This is Tyson again, E37, makes the play. LaRon Lee, 63, pitcher X. Gibson is an E6 pitcher. Still can field his position very well here. And with 2 outs, Nate Colbert, 1-8, is a strikeout. Stretch time here in St. Louis. The fans are cold and chilly and a little disappointed. The home team has not scratched the scoreboard yet. We've been enjoying listening to Alan Toussaint's 1971 Sweet Touch of Love. From a whisper to a scream, everything I do gonna be funky from now on. This tune, and the choking kind, done by many. Sweet Touch of Love, nice LP here, working in the coal mine as well. Very cool record by Alan Toussaint. Back to the game. Cardinals, they got to get something going here in the bottom of the 7th. Randy Jones has been too comfortable out there. So 332 hitting Ted Simmons will step into the box. 55 rolls a second. Not even close to the column, the 4 column yet. I don't think we've rolled one. Jim Hart, 57, pops to first. Mike Tyson, 2-3, pops to first. So you can just write in the Cy Young to Randy Jones at this point. I mean, if they're not going to even roll a 4 column against them, the thing's over with. Matter of fact, the Cardinals is going to tell Bob just to relax in the dugout, and it's opening day. We don't need you to wear your arm out. We want you for the length of the season. So they're going to go Steve Barber in the 8th. He was acquired out of the Angels, I believe. 72, 4-4 with a nice 2.02 ERA. Good bullpen for the Cardinals. Barber, Chuck Taylor, and Al Rabowski. 5-man swing staff. Barber's going to come on in the 8th, and batting for Garrett will be defensive catcher Mike Ryan. Ryan, 43 off Barber, left X. Out in left field, you got the 4-11 Lou Brock. That's a base hit. Now you got Fregosi. 59 for Fregosi is short X. You have John Kennedy there, 3-36, and it's a ground ball C. And actually, Enzo Hernandez will take over at shortstop. They like to bring their defense in now, the big lead. Second baseman Vic Harris. 1-9 is a fielder's choice, and with 2 outs, it's Ken McMullen. 2-9, let's take a look at this guy. Ken McMullen. He's bounced around from a few different teams. I think he was a Dodger, Washington Senator, Texas Ranger, California Angel. We had him in Milwaukee. Here he is in San Diego. Nice defensive third baseman. Here he hits .269 with 9 home runs. 2-9 for him is a clean double to left field. Vic Harris will try and he'll take on the Brock arm and he'll score, and it's 6-zip. And your number 9 hitter, Dave Winfield. 63, looking for his first major league hit, pitcher X. Barber's an E38. Will probably reach base with an error. So Winfield's on first base, at least. Runners on the corners for Johnny Grubb. 2-8 grounds to short. All right, and they're going to bring in... Winfield actually needs a defensive replacement. Can you imagine that? They'll put Clarence Gaston in the outfield as a 2 defender to shore up all this defense. Actually, they'll leave Winfield out there with his arm. They'll put Clarence Gaston in there for Laron Lee. And that is 3 defensive replacements as the Padres want to win this opener behind Randy Jones. Bottom of the 8th, Don Buford. 2-8 rolls a short. John Kennedy, 2-7 is a K. Lou Brock, 67 is a K. If you're going to roll 5s and 6s all year long against Randy Jones, you're wasting my time. So there you go. We'll go to the 9th. And we're going to have Bob Forsch come in here and make his Major League debut with his great 74 card. So this is what I was saying. They drafted Forsch. They had an option to get him in the rotation, but you still have Bob Gibson here. So once Gibson falls out off of rotation, Forsch will probably take his spot as a number 1 or number 2 with a different card. But he's 7-4 with a 2.97 ERA and 100 innings. Very nice year for Bob Forsch. He'll pitch the 9th. Leading off, Dave Roberts. 56 flies to left. Clarence Gaston, 66, short X. The new shortstop is Enzo. No, we didn't. That's right. The new shortstop is the Cardinal shortstop. It's 336. It's going to be a single. Runner at first. Nate Colbert having himself a day. 612 is a strikeout. And it's Mike Ryan. 1-6 is a strikeout. Okay, nice debut for Forsch. Bottom of the 9th. We're going to let Randy Jones. He's only 4 batters over the minimum, and 2 of those are errors to his second baseman. 2 harmless singles through 8. It'll be Joe Torre leading off. 5-10 is catcher's X. The new catcher Ryan's a 2E3. Good luck with that one. Reggie Smith, 67, is a liner to second base. I have not rolled a 4 today that I'm aware of. Bill Sadakis, and that will be a fly ball, lazy fly ball to center field. If you're still in St. Louis, remember to flip the lights off. Randy Jones with a dominating complete game shutout, defeating Bob Gibson, who struggled early and often in this one. 6-0. Padres beat the Cardinals, dealing the Cardinals a tough start to their season. So at the end of the video, we'll give you the results of this best of 5 series, so stay tuned. Well, baseball fans, this was a bizarre series, and we'll get into that. Here's game 1, the game you saw. Randy Jones having no problem with the Cardinals. A 6-0 victory, 2-hit shutout. No walks, 5 strikeouts. Bad day for Bob Gibson. So, what do the Cardinals do in Game 2? They have to get a split at home, you would think, in Game 2. It's ugly again, though. We talked about the 1-2 punch of Jones and Strome. And Strom delivers in game 2, giving up just a 1 run, an unearned run in the first, and another solo homer by Bill Sadakis. But John Curtis, boy, he gets knocked around. And early on, folks, this is the Nate Colbert story again. Nate Colbert begins his season 6 for 7 or whatever. Single, double, single, 6 RBIs early in this thing. Ridiculous. Knocking John Curtis of the Cardinals all around. This game's over early. It is 7-2, and the Padres are on fire to start the season behind the big lefties, Randy Jones, Brent Strom. So, what would happen in game 3? Oh, no. Cover your eyes, game 3. One of the worst games of Strat-O-Matic I've ever played, I would say. Embarrassing game. The worst defensive performance I've ever seen by an individual player and by teams. Terrible game. Just an awful game of Strat-O-Matic, and they happen, folks. I'll take you through it. You have Scipio Spinks, a nice little young 24-year-old starter for the Cardinals. Had a great 72, then he disappeared. Against Ed Sprague. Similar guy, had a short little career. They did a decent job. Their defense killed them. Let's take you to the top of the first. Cardinals trying to get a victory in this series to avoid a sweep. Lou Brock walks, steals second. Steals third, ball goes into left field, he scores. Then you get a walk, then another walk, then you hit a comebacker to the mound, and instead of it being an inning-ending double play, it's an error. And then John Kennedy scores the run on a ground ball. So it's 2 unearned runs off the top. Oh, we're just getting started, folks. Let's go to the top of the 4th now. After a walk, Reggie Smith. No, it's Dave Winfield. I'm sorry. Dave Winfield with a 2-base error. And then Joe Torre, a 2-run single. The visiting Cardinals, 4 runs. None are earned off of Ed Sprague. But the Cardinals, oh boy, the Cardinals will be giving gifts away. Don't you worry, folks. Bottom of the 4th inning. Adrian Garrett solo homer 4-1. Then Jim Fregosi gets a ground ball to Ted Sizemore in the Ted Sizemore game, as this is called. And he boots it for an error, but it doesn't matter. The inning's over. Then in the 5th inning, ground ball to Scipio Spinks. He boots it. It's an error, but they don't score. Then we go to the 6th inning. Ground ball to shortstop Mike Phillips. It's an error, but he doesn't score. 3 straight innings of errors. None of those guys score. Top of the 8th inning, you get a walk, walk K, fly out, nobody scores. Bottom of the 7th, after an out, Dave Winfield hits a ground ball to Ted Sizemore. It's another error. A single, a double play, nobody scores. Then in the bottom of the 8th inning, in this bizarre game that the Cardinals are leading 4-1, they bring in Al Rabowski for a 2-inning save. You get a walk, a K, then a ground ball from Cito Gaston to Ted Sizemore. He kicks it for an error. After a fly out, you get a Ken McMullen ground ball to Ted Sizemore. He kicks it for his 4th error. He has 4. Phillips has 1. We got more to go. And it's a 4-3 game. Then in the bottom of the 9th, Dave Roberts hits a fly ball to Reggie Smith. He drops a fly ball for a 2-base error. After a single, we get the dreaded catcher's X, and we get a pass ball to score another unearned run. Folks, there were 9 runs scored today, only 2 were earned. Inexcusable display of baseball form here. And you talk about mad Hungarian, Al Rabowski. How mad do you think he's going to get when his defense commits 1, 2, 3 errors and a pass ball in 2 innings? The game is tied 4-4 as we go to extras to continue the madness. But in the top of the 10th, we have a double by Mike Phillips. And then who else but it's Ted Sizemore. RBI single! The GOAT! It means greatest of all time. It doesn't mean, the guy who made 4 errors in this game delivers an RBI single in the top of the 10th. Al Rabowski goes into his 3rd inning of relief in the bottom of the 10th, striking out a batter. This thing's over. Cardinals get a road win. There is no home field advantage in this series. Both teams just play terrible at home. Scipio Spinks, 7 innings, 5 hits, a run earned, 2 walks, 4 strikeouts, and a no decision. Auerbowski, 3 innings, 3 hits, 3 unearned runs, a walk and 3 Ks. Vicente Romo gave up the only earned run in the top of the 10th inning in a loss. So let's just forget this thing ever happened. But the Cardinals got a victory. All right, game 4. And it's the Cardinals again. Another victory. This one's in 10 innings. Sonny Siebert versus Freisleben. I got to get through this. This is just madness. You get a RBI triple by Phillips. You get a 2-run homer, Reggie Smith. You get a 2-run single, Lou Brock. The Padres get a solo homer, Johnny Grubb. A 2-run homer, Dave Roberts. Bottom of the 9th of a 5-3 affair. Chuck Taylor's trying to get a save to even the series. It doesn't happen. He gives up a single, a triple, a sac fly to tie the game. Send it to extra innings. And the Padres still have a chance now with a game in extra innings to win this series 3-1. It doesn't happen. This time it's Bob Johnson in the 10th. Cardinals bat around, single walk, single, walk, walk K. It's your typical 5-run victory in 10 innings. The Cardinals win this one 10-5. Road teams won every game. I just don't know what to say right now about these teams. They're not very, I don't know. It's bad display of baseball form, even though 2 of them won extra innings. We go to game 5, and we get probably the only constant is Randy Jones in this series. It's Jones-Gibson part 2 for deciding game 5 back in St. Louis. Top of the 1st. You get LaRon Lee, RBI triple. Bottom of the 1st. Strikeout and error by Enzo Hernandez. A single, Reggie Smith, but then McBride gets thrown out at third base. Then you get a single, and then you get a 3-run homer by Sadakis, which means those 3 runs actually are earned, since the guy who reached via the error got thrown out at third base. So it is 3 earned runs off of Randy Jones on that blast. Top of the 3rd, Bob Gibson gets knocked around again. Walk, single, sac fly, triple, single. It's a 4-4 game, though, as we go to the 7th inning. But first, right here in the 6th inning, Bob Gibson gets one of those designated hitter injures pitcher deals, which wouldn't have happened in the National League, but because you get those on the pitcher's card normally, when the pitcher's hitting card. But we have a full-time DH in both leagues, so it's an injury to Gibson. He continues. So if a pitcher continues with an injury, we just make him point of weakness, which means the dot on the card. So of course, the dot on the card does matter. After a single, Enzo Hernandez, of course, rolls the single dot on the Gibson card to give the Padres the lead. And then, of course, we left Bob Gibson in there 1 batter too long at the point of weakness, and Nate Colbert hits a 3-run homer. At which point, this is now an 8-4 game. Randy Jones does go for the complete game in a kind of a head-scratching effort. Randy Jones, 9 innings, gave up 11 hits, the 3 earned runs in the 1st, 1 more run. And your road team, the Road Warrior Padres, win this series, win this game 8-4. Randy Jones has 2 wins, Bob Gibson has 2 losses. A series I'd like to forget. Break up your Padres. They do indeed beat the Cardinals 3-2. Thanks for checking this out. We'll see you next time.